Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! Oh, shucks, that's me. Well, here I am again with $2,000. Who's first to try for the big money, Mr. Fenneman?
Groucho, we invited some college football players and some foreign-born girls to the program tonight. And here come the two selected by our studio audience just before we went on the air. Miss Birgitta Juncker, Mr. Fred Snyder. Come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy doody, huh? Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Miss Birgitta Juncker, is that right?
That's right.
Juncker or Junker? What kind of a name is that?
That's a Danish name.
Oh, Danish pastry, eh? I'll just call you Cookie, eh?
Okay.
How long have you been in the United States?
Almost a year now.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you have a job?
No, I'm here as a visitor.
Oh. Well, that's nice work if you can get it. How long have you been in this country, Fred?
All my life.
That's so. Where were you born?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, I know the American Council there. How old are you, Fred?
21.
21, eh? And you're 20, eh?
That's right.
Say, you might be able to do a little business here. Eh? You play football? Is
That's right. Football.
Feetball or
Football.
Oh, football.
The singular.
Well, it is. The way some of them play, it is pretty singular. Where do you play?
Loyola University.
Loyola?
Yes.
Oh, are you in the Big Ten?
No. Not
Big
the
Six?
No.
Big Three?
What's the big three?
Britain, France, and the United States. Thought you had me, eh? I pulled a quarterback sneak on you. And a sneakier quarterback you'll go a long way to find. Well, if you aren't in the Big Three, what league are you in?
Oh, well, we're not in any league. We make up our own schedule. We play the different teams around the country.
Oh, like Russia, huh? You ad-lib the schedule, huh?
That's it.
What position do you play on the team other than horizontal?
Offensive right end.
Why do you play that position?
Well, mainly because of my height and my weight. If I weighed a little more, I might play farther in the line, but...
Is father on the line, too?
Yes.
Well, you wouldn't want to injure him, I don't think. Isn't he pretty old for football?
No, when I was...
How did he get on the team?
He played basketball.
Now, wait a minute. Half the team is playing basketball and half is playing football? I never heard of anything like that. No wonder you don't have a regular schedule. They gets all confused. They don't know who they're playing. Well, how is your father? Has he been hurt at all?
No, Dad's fine. He's
give him my love.
Yeah, I will.
And give her my love when the next time you talk to her.
Okay.
Well, now, are you considered to be a pretty good player?
Well, I guess pretty fair. I played first string now for 3 years.
Now he's playing with a string.
I should have said varsity.
This kid has really lost his buttons, huh? Do you play football in Denmark? Oh, no, that's to you. Do you play football
No, we play soccer.
You play soccer?
Yeah.
I haven't played for soccer many a time. Well, tell us something about Denmark. For example, how big is Denmark?
Well, Denmark is about the size of Los Angeles County.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a country in Europe that large. Huh? Well, how is the standard of living there? Do you have 2 television sets in every garage?
No, we don't. Television has just come to Denmark now.
It's just starting
Yeah,
now
it's
in
just
Denmark?
starting.
Oh, that's interesting. It's just finishing over here. If you don't have television, Birgitte, is that it?
Birgitte.
Bikita, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're Mexican, huh? Now, how do you get Bikita out of B-I-R-G-E-T-T-E?
Biakita. It's very easy.
Does your father play soccer on the same team as you? Well, if you don't have television in Denmark, how do you entertain yourself?
Well, you go to operas, art exhibition, visit with friends, and... Well...
You sound pretty gloomy about the whole thing.
Oh, you have fun.
You do? It sounds very quiet. Don't you have anything cultural like roller derbies or lady wrestlers?
No, we don't.
Now, Spaghetti, am I getting close?
Pretty close, yeah.
What did you say it was?
Biakita.
Oh, Bikiti.
Mm-hmm.
Biakiti, yeah? Can you say that?
Is it Birgitta?
Yeah.
Birgitta.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Yes, it's very good. Don't forget, you're a comparatively young man, Fred. I've always heard about the melancholy Dane, Birgitta. Is that true? Are Danes really sad and mournful?
No, I don't think they are, really.
Well, you haven't smiled much here tonight, Birgitta.
Oh.
Let's see a big smile. Just
No, I can't right now.
No?
No.
Would you say Danes have a good sense of humor?
Yes, certainly. I
You
do
would,
think they
Could
do.
you give us a sample of a Danish joke? Just any old joke. I'd like to see how Danish jokes compare with ours. Can
Let me see.
you think of one?
Yeah, there's one about the husband and the wife.
I'll
Well,
say there is. You hit it right on the doorknob that time. Well, let's have it, huh?
Well, the husband comes home after work in the night and he says to his wife, well, darling, wouldn't it be a good idea to go out and have some fun tonight?
Some what?
Some fun. Mm-hmm. And the wife says, well, that's a swell idea, but remember to leave the lights on if you come home first.
Congratulations.
That's the kind of jokes they tell in Denmark,
Yeah.
huh? Well, I guess it's true what I've always heard. I guess something is rotten in Denmark. They always say that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been very nice talking to you two. You're a fine-looking young couple, and I hope something comes of this. In just 1 minute, you're going to play Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000 question. Right now, I want you to listen to some information of great importance.
It's the car you've been waiting for. The car designed for you and your budget, too. Yes, it's the great new 1952 DeSoto. See it today at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Step into its big, roomy interior. Relax in its comfortable chair-high seats. Then drive the new DeSoto. Feel the thrill of its Powermaster engine, the sure stopping power of its big 12-inch brakes, and the smooth, comfortable ride you get with DeSoto's famous Oriflow shock absorbers, and a host of other features. You'll discover DeSoto is the car designed for you and your budget, too. See it today. The new, the exciting 1952 DeSoto. On display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Have you seen?
Did you ride?
Did you drive the new DeSoto? Hurry up
Do it now
at your dealers today. It's designed for you and your budget too. It's the 1952 DeSoto.
And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the value jewel of the low-price field.
Friends, go into your DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow, and when you do, tell them Groucho sent you. All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, explain the rules.
All right. You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected locations of colleges. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Well, we can't bet 80. We've only got
18.
20. Oh, 18. Okay, 18.
What college is at Durham, North Carolina?
Duke.
Well, you're on your way. You have $38.
You got remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $38 will you bet on your second question?
But,
30.
30, okay.
Pagetti, talk up. Yeah, I know how to make her laugh. Just mispronounce her name. I know it's Bagheera. Isn't that in Central America? No, that's Bogota, I guess. What? All right. I used to play a Bogota there. Humphrey Bogota. What college is at Palo Alto?
We don't have to talk that over. Stanford.
Stanford is right, huh?
You've now climbed to $68.
You have $68. Now, how much are you going to bet of the 68?
60.
Okay.
60.
All right. What college is at New Haven, Con? I
Yale.
guess that's Connecticut, huh?
Yale.
Yale is right.
You now have $128.
Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $128 are you going to risk?
125. Is that? Wait a minute. Is that all right with you?
Okay.
Well, it's okay.
Let's gamble.
Let's get.
All right. What college is at Ann Arbor?
Michigan. University
Of Michigan. Nice, you smiling, huh?
And you wind up with 200.
Steady there, Fenneman. Steady there.
And you wind up with $253.
Well, imagine having that girl, his age, and $253. What a chain of circumstances, huh? Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have a plumber and a housewife for you, Groucho. A rather unusual housewife. They were chosen. Well, the figure of speech. They were chosen from our audience just before we went on the air, and here they are. Mrs. Babette Millicent Edwards, Mr. Frank Moore. Meet Groucho Marx.
I want to welcome all three of you to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mrs. Babette Millicent Edwards and Mr. Moore. You're a plumber, is that right?
That's right.
Always glad to meet a man with good connections. Where are you from, Plum?
Belfast.
Where?
Belfast.
Holdfast, did you say?
Belfast.
Oh, Belfast. Suka Raka Rocky and the Hoop. Used to be a song. You're the Plum. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Belfast, where? That's an island, isn't it?
That's right.
How long you been over here?
42 years.
Obviously, you're crazy about Ireland, huh? Did you kiss the Blarney Stone when you were over there?
I don't think so.
How old were you when you left there?
4 years old.
You were 4 years old, huh? That makes you, let's see, you were 40 years? 28, 23. Must be about 38 years old this time. Mrs. Edwards, may I call you Baghetti?
Call me Babs. Everyone else does.
I'll call you Tiny, eh? I'll call you Babs. If everybody calls you Babs, I'm no fool. I'll call you Babs, too. Where you from, Babs?
Hocus, New Jersey.
Now, look, I crack the jokes around here.
Well, that's where I'm
Cut
from.
the nonsense. Where are you from, huh?
Hocus, New Jersey.
You just made it up, Babs. There is no place.
No, there is. It's right a stone's throw from the George Washington Bridge in New Jersey.
It is. How are the Stones around there? They're pretty good? I used to know them very well. Mr. and Mrs. George Stone, huh? How long have you been married, Babette?
19 years.
Oh, it's a long time.
You're telling me.
As a matter of fact, I wasn't. You were telling me. I'm going to be technical about it. What sort of work does your husband do?
He's a disabled veteran of World War II.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Give him my best and
Thank you very much.
Wish him speedy recovery for all of us. I'm glad this came up because I have a note here. I've been wanting to read it. It's here someplace. Here. Now, this is, I'd like you to pay close attention to this. This is a statement by General Ridgway. He says, every American who has given blood can and should feel he personally has contributed directly to the saving of the life of an American boy. Well, they need a lot more plasma.
Indeed they do.
So go down to your nearest Red Cross. They'll do the rest. You agree with that, don't you, Beth?
Indeed I do.
I didn't... You'll have to forgive me for bringing such a somber note into this alleged comedy program, but it's desperately serious there. I think they only have an advance of 3 days' supply or something, so anybody who is physically able should go down and do this as a patriotic duty. Where do you work, Babette?
I'm at Auction City.
You're where?
At Auction City, at Downey, California.
Well, what do you do there?
I'm a handwriting analyst. I analyze handwriting.
Oh. What can you tell from a person's handwriting?
Well, I could tell just the type of person that they are.
If I wrote something, could you tell what kind of a person
I'd be
I am?
very happy to.
You could tell what kind of a person I am?
I can.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. The way you cross your T's and the way you dot your I's is all an indication of your character, your personality, if you have any, shows up in your handwriting.
Let's eliminate the gratuitous insults, huh? Well, you make a very interesting couple, huh? Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $2,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman, otherwise known as George, is going to remind our listeners.
The Danish girl and the football player won $253.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected spirituals as your category. Is that right?
Yes.
Here's your first question. How much Joshua fit the battle of Jericho? Jericho, Jericho, Joshua fit the battle. And the knee bone keeps the head bone. And... Here's your first question. How much did you bet?
$19.
$19. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Babette? Jerry Fielding and his orchestra will play this spiritual, and you give me the title. Okay, Jerry.
Oh, them golden slippers.
Golden slippers is right.
Well, you're on the way. You have $39.
Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the $39 you going to try?
38.
Is that all right with you, Frank?
All right.
What's the name of this spiritual? Music. What is it? What do you decide on?
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
No,
the trouble I've been.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. That's a pretty tough one.
You now have $1.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh,
You're down to
50
one.
cents.
You're going to
Maybe.
bet 50 cents? Is that all right with you, Frank?
It's all right.
All right. I'm sorry that was such a tough question. Okay, play, Jerry.
Sweet Chariot.
Swing low, sweet chariot is right.
Well, you now have $1.50.
Now, how much you going to bet now?
$1.50.
This is the last one. All right, give me the title of this spiritual.
Nobody knows the trouble I'm in.
Nobody knows the trouble I've been. That's right.
You wind up with $3, but
We cannot let these people go away with
No.
$3. It's ridiculous. Even if we paid them by the pound, we'd owe them more than that. We're going to give you one more question. Answer it correctly, and we're going to give you $10. Think hard now, and please no help from the audience. Ready? Mexico City is the capital of what country?
Mexico.
Mexico is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
we asked for volunteers with interesting backgrounds, Groucho, and Miss Lucille Will and Mr. Harold Huggins were chosen just before we went on the air. And here they are. Folks, come in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and win $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Miss Lucille Will and Mr. Harold Huggins. Are you married, Mr. Huggins?
I'm a widower.
You're a very handsome fellow, Mr. Huggins. Would you mind telling us your age?
I've just passed 60.
Really? 60? Remember the speed limit in California is 55. So don't go over 80. Well, you don't look like 60. You look like about 46, 47. Very healthy-looking fellow. Mrs. Will, may I call you Lucille?
Oh, surely, but it's Miss Will.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
The retort courteous, huh? Where you from, Luce? Doesn't take us long to get familiar around here.
Wessington Springs, South Dakota.
You're from what was the name of the place?
Wessington Springs.
Wessington Springs. You should have been here a minute ago. We had a plumber here. What kind of oh, yes, Pierre is in South Dakota, isn't it?
Surely it's the capital.
Didn't Coolidge spend their vacation in South Dakota?
Well, that was our next city, Rapid City.
Yeah. Well, if Coolidge was there, it wasn't very rapid, huh?
He didn't choose to run, is that...
He did. He ran, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
He ran around the White House every morning. Well, enough of Coolidge, huh? Where were we? We were in South Dakota.
Yes.
Do you work, Lucille?
Yes, I'm a teacher.
No, I don't mean do you work, Lucille. I mean do you work?
Yes.
What do you do?
Public speaking teacher at Inglewood High School.
Oh, you're a teacher at Inglewood High, huh? Well, you're high enough to be in high school, huh? How long have you been teaching?
27 years.
Well, that's a wonderful record, and I congratulate you. Yeah? How is it you look so young and fresh after so many years of turmoil with these students?
Well, perhaps there isn't so much turmoil. After all, I'm bigger than they are, and it is quite enjoyable and fascinating.
Oh, I imagine it's extremely interesting, but rather trying at times, isn't it?
Fascinating and fatiguing, you mean?
Yes.
I would say so.
I always thought it was fatiguing. A fellow can learn something having a high school teacher on the show. By the way, Miss Will, how tall are you?
Practically 6 feet.
Mm-hmm. Has your height proved much of a problem to you?
Oh, I don't mind the north and south, but the east and west bothers me a bit.
I guess she's referring to the girth of a nation. Mr. Huggins, you're still here, aren't you? Glad to hear. I always hate to have a contestant walk out on me in the middle of them without saying good night.
Before the money's distributed?
Yes. You're no fool, Huggy. Tell me, Mr. Huggins, what kind of work do you do?
I've done a little bit of everything.
Well, I'm sure of that, but I mean, what kind of work do you do?
What kind of work do I do?
Yeah.
I retired years ago.
You retired,
Yes.
huh? What from?
Well, I've done a little bit of everything.
Have you ever done time in Sing Sing?
No, fortunately.
Now, you see, you haven't done everything.
No.
I'll thank you to be careful what you say in this program, Mr.
I do my
Huggins.
best.
What are some of the things you have done?
When I was first out of university, I went into the diplomatic service and sent to Japan. I was a student of the language, and for some years I remained in the service and finally ended up as the vice consul.
A vice consul?
Yes.
You say you were a diplomat, huh?
Yes, I was a diplomat.
Well, if you're going to be mixed up with a vice consul, I guess you got to be a diplomat. Well, you make a charming and interesting couple, and if romance should grow from the seed I planted, I hope you let me have one of the twigs. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $2,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The Danish girl and the football player still lead with $253.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected major cities of the United States. These cities are all over 100,000 population. This should be pretty easy. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet? You have $20. Or you have $20.
20.
$20.
Well, you speak foreign languages, too, huh? He understood it right away. I says $20, and he knew what I was talking about.
Wonderful pronunciation.
Now, here's your first question. You're going to bet the whole 20?
I believe the gentleman says so. Don't you?
Oh,
All right. Now, I don't want to influence you, but if you lose this, the whole thing is over, you know. Don't you think you ought to keep a little something for a nest egg? All right, $20. And what state is the city of Evansville?
Illinois.
Talk it over.
Oh, I quite agree.
I'm sorry, it's Indiana.
We're broke. Well, that's that. I'm sorry.
well, they can't
Well,
go
we
away.
can't let them go
I'm
away.
responsible.
So fast.
I warned you. You should have kept $1 in reserve. All right, I'll give you one question. If you get it right, you win $10. Think hard now. No help from the audience. You ready? Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
The general himself.
General himself is right. I'm sorry you didn't win more money.
Well, you people went both.
And that means that the Danish girl and the football player with $253 in just 1 minute. Get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question. You know, this time of year, you can find some really great values in used cars. And, of course, now, as in any season, you'll get the very best used car values in town at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's. He has many different makes and models to choose from. And you get this added advantage. Among his used cars are DeSotos and Plymouths, traded in by his regular customers. Cars the DeSoto Plymouth dealer knows very well, because he sold them originally and serviced them from the day they were new. You'll find the DeSoto Plymouth dealer a good man to deal with because he has a big investment at stake. He has to make happy customers, satisfied customers who will come back again and again, so his business will keep right on growing. That means he'll try his best to find just the right used car to fit your needs and your pocketbook. So if you're in the market for a good used car, stop in where you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
And when you do, tell him Groucho sent you.
Well, here's the Danish girl and the football player, the winning couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question, Groucho. Right in here.
Well, here they are. Here are the kids again. If you win all this money, you can get your father off that team. Oh, you can buy a lot of pastry for this, Bagooty. I know it's Baguetta. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Baguetta.
right.
Here we go for $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Ready? The nation's capital is pictured on the back of only one denomination of United States currency. For $2,000, tell me, on what bill is the capital pictured? Walk it over. You don't know? Take a guess. All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
It's a guess, the dollar bill. One.
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is the $50 bill. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,500. Well, you lost the big money, but Fenneman, how much did they win in the quiz?
Well, they won $253.
Well, that's not too bad. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember... See the 1952 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Good drivers don't brag about their ability to get out of tight spots. They stay out of them. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. The secret word tonight is people. P-E-O-P-L-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
That's me. Well, here I am again with $2,500 for one of our couples.
Well, Groucho, we sent some tickets to the junior high schools in the city this week, and other youngsters who came to our program tonight. Here come the two who were selected to be on the show, Elda Height and Philip Bauer. Kids, come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Oh, what's your Elder is your name?
That's right.
But you're the younger of the two, aren't you? Huh?
I guess so.
Well, how can you be the elder? I don't understand. I can get sued by Abbott and Costello for this. How old are you? I'll call you Junior, huh?
All right, I'm 14.
You're 14, huh? Well, you're a pretty small girl for 14, aren't you?
Yes.
Where were you born?
I was born here in Los Angeles.
What sort of work does your father do?
Well, he's a branch sales manager for the Murray
Sells
B.
branches?
No, he's branch sales manager for the Murray B. Marsh Company, who sells Mohawk carpets.
Is that all he sells, just carpets, huh?
Well,
That's a pretty tacky job, isn't it? What school do you go to, Elda?
LeConte Junior High.
What's Philip Bauer? Is that right?
That's
you
right.
the right Bauer or the left Bauer? Where were you born?
At Cedars of Lebanon Hospital at 3:30 in the morning on February 8th, 1937.
That's pretty comprehensive, all right. How come you know all this? Did you take notes at the time? How old are you, Phil?
I'm 14.
What sort of work does your father do?
He works for the Water and Power Sanitary Engineering Division.
Oh. Well, that's a pretty cushy job, isn't it? Huh? You get free water? Did your father ever tell you how he met your mother?
No, but my mother did.
What did she tell you?
Well, it seems that she went down to the beach with some other men, and she... That's where she met...
Where were you? Were you at Cedars of Lebanon then?
Well, that's where she met my father.
At the Cedars of Lebanon? It's a good thing the old boy showed up, huh? She might have been at the beach yet. Huh? Well, that was a quick roll. And what happened there?
Well, she met my father.
There's no need of yodeling, you know. Just use one voice. I don't care which one you use. Let's not overdo it. Don't use two voices. Because if there's two people here and three voices, I get all confused. Now decide which one are you going to use? Huh?
I'm all set.
Okay. You take the high voice and I'll take the low. Well, how did your mother meet your father?
At the beach, and my father...
Was a beachcomber?
No, he decided to give her a ride home. And something
What do you
went
mean he decided? Did he ask her or anything?
No, anyway, they got going, and...
Well, I'm glad to hear that, anyway.
Well, something went wrong with the car, and it kept stopping. And
That's his story. That's an old device. I used to use that myself. What grade are you in at school?
A9.
A9?
Yeah.
What school do you go to?
Thomas Starr King.
Where's that?
That's at Myra and Fountain.
What's Myra doing at a fountain?
Well,
she a soda jug?
the two streets cross, and Thomas Starr King is on the corner.
You keep away from him, you hear me? What kind of a school is this, Philip?
Well, it's an old school and kind of artistic. It's...
Now, who said that? Did you say that? Climb down off that ladder there, will you? You say it's an old school and kind of artistic? Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for $2,500. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to this.
If you're like most people, you look for and expect three things of the folks who service your car: efficient service, courteous service, and service at a fair price. Well, there's one place you can get them all, and that's at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's. Yes, sir, you'll find out a DeSoto Plymouth dealer really knows how to treat your car. And that goes for the major repair jobs as well as the smallest ones. His men are skilled mechanics. They've been trained in factory methods, and they really know your car. What's more, they work with the most modern tools and equipment, and that helps them do a faster, more expert job. But not only does your car get the right treatment at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer, you get the right treatment, too. Considerate treatment. Service with a smile. And when you get the bill, you'll find it's reasonable. A fair charge for good work done. Stop in and you'll agree. You and your car both make out best, where you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the value jewel of the low-priced field.
Now, all right, let's see how much money you can win tonight. That reminds me, I have a note here that I have to read. Now, listen to this, Fenneman, because this involves you, too. On our first show, we had a question about the Hope Diamond, and I said it wasn't for sale. I now stand corrected. The Hope Diamond is for sale. If there's anybody in the audience who'd like to buy it, I think... Well, that takes care of that. We sell anything on this show, yeah? George, explain the rules of the game to these youngsters, huh?
All right, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected fictional animals and birds. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
19.
19. What kind of an animal is Dumbo?
Elephant.
Elephant is right.
Well, you're off to a good start. You have $39.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. How much of the $39 will you bet on your second question?
38.
What kind of an animal is Ferdinand?
Bull.
A bull is right.
You now have $77.
How much of the 77 would you try this time?
76.
76. Uncle Elby has a pet named Napoleon. What sort of an animal is he?
Dog.
A dog is right.
Oh, you're really climbing. You have $153.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 153?
Shoot the works. We'll shoot the works.
What kind of an animal is Harvey?
A rabbit.
A rabbit is right.
And you wind up with a grand total of $306.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Weren't they cute?
We have a Western Union operator and a husband for you.
You have,
now.
huh?
Yes, uh-huh.
Well, you're a very fortunate man.
They came out of our audience, Groucho, and they're right here now. Miss Veta Coffee, Mr. Leonard Pucci, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Miss Velta Coffee.
Veta.
Oh, it says, it's 2T, Veta. Where are you from, Veta?
Originally Portland, Oregon, now from Southgate.
Mm-hmm. May I ask your age?
26.
26. Well, you're very young looking, 26, huh? Just checking, you know. Are you engaged?
No.
Well, just checking. I do an awful lot of checking on this program. And more than I do on any other program, too. You see, we have to be very sure about some things, so you'll pardon me if I seem overly inquisitive. Now then, are you busy after the show tonight?
Well, yes, I'm afraid I am.
As I say, we do a lot of checking around here. Doesn't seem to do any good, but nevertheless, we continue checking all the time. Leonard Pucci?
That's right, sir.
Is that the way you pronounce it?
That's right.
You're the husband, huh? You're not better.
No, I'm not her husband.
No.
How do you like that?
Where are you from, Pooch?
Well, I was born about 3 blocks away from the slaughterhouse in Canton, Ohio.
They have a slaughterhouse in Canton?
Oh, sure. We have everything in Canton.
Is that so? They don't have Akron. Are you married, Pooch?
Yes, sir, I am.
Got any little mutts?
I got 2 children.
How long have you been married?
Well, I got married while I was in service in the infantry 9 years ago.
And you got 2 little infants, eh?
That's right.
What were you in the Army, a sailor?
I was a mess sergeant.
A mess sergeant? And your wife married you because you were a good cook, is that it?
Yes, sir.
You still do much cooking at home, Pooch?
Little, just on fancy dishes. Such as spaghetti, meatballs, ravioli, pasta fazool.
I pasta fazool this morning around 8 o'clock. I was going about 30 miles an hour and I pasta fazool. You say, Vetta, you're a telegraph operator?
Yes, I am.
What do you do?
Well, we send and receive messages, gum them down when they come in, send them
You
on
what?
machines. Gum them down.
Gum them down?
Yes.
What do you mean? People come in there and you gum them down? What is the rate for a telegram?
Where
Vetta?
to?
Huh?
Where to?
Oh, you have to...
Well, the rates vary.
Oh. Well, let's say Pasadena.
35 cents plus 9 cents tax for 10 words.
I can take a bus and go to Pasadena for $2.50. Do you still charge for a stop? Like, I know what you're doing in Atlantic City, stop.
No.
You don't charge for that?
No, all punctuation is free now within the continental limits of the United States.
Is that so? You
This
mean,
country.
well, I could send, if I was real smart, I could work out a code, couldn't I? And
Why,
send,
sure.
And send nothing but commas and semicolons?
Well, you'd still have to pay, though.
Oh. Frightens me sometimes how cunning I think I am. And then Vetta talks and my bubble bursts, huh? Let's say I'm on the phone and I want to send a telegram. Just what happens? Pretend I'm a customer.
What?
Now, I call up. I dial, and first I get the wrong number, of course. I get the slaughterhouse in Canton, Ohio.
What class of service would you like to use? Straight wire, day letter, or night letter?
Well, night letter sounds pretty good to me. Huh?
All right. What is your phone number?
What's yours?
Well, what number is this to be charged to?
Charge it to your own number. Huh?
Who is it going to?
I was going to send it to you.
What is the address of the party that it's going to?
Well, it's someplace in Pasadena. I don't know.
No, Southgate.
Hey, I may get somewheres at that here. Well, I've learned a lot talking to you, too. And you can learn a lot if you visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And Vetta, you're a very pretty girl.
Thank you.
Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you get a chance at the $2,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Mr. Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The junior high school students won $306.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected married names of motion picture stars. Now you have $20. How much of the $20 you going to bet?
You want to bet the whole 20?
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't bet the 20. If you lose it, then you're all through. I don't care if you bet $19.90, but keep something.
$19.99. $19.99.
Actually, I have no right to influence you at all, but I hate to see you bet everything on the first question, because if you lose, then you... $19.99 you're going to bet.
That's right.
Well, that's better.
Yes.
At least you put something away for a rainy day. Now, Joan is married to producer Walter Wenger. What is her screen name?
Joan Bennett.
Joan Bennett is right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $39.99.
Are you sure of that?
This one I'm sure of.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $39.99 you going to bet?
All of it.
All right. Teresa is married to a screenwriter, Niven Bush. What is her screen name?
Right. Teresa Wright.
Teresa Wright is right.
You now have $79.98.
Here's your third question. How much you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it.
Frances is married to actor Joel McRae. What is her screen name?
Frances D.
Frances D. is right. This is really a sharp cookie here. How much you going to bet?
You have one. Wait a minute. I got it. You have $159.96.
How much you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it. Jane is married to Gary Steffen. What is her screen name?
Jane Powell.
Jane Powell is right. Very good, very good. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
You wind up with a grand total of $319.92.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Oh, say, I've got a note here to remind me to tell you something. I just finished reading a book called Showbiz by Abel Green and Joe Laurie, Jr. It's the best book I've read about show business, and when you read it, I think you'll agree. Make a note of that, Fenneman.
I'll do that. We have a housewife and a furrier for you now, Groucho, chosen by our studio audience just before we went on the air. Here they are, Mrs. Anna Badovanak and Mr. Bernard McLean. Come in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, folks, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word, and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Let's see, a furrier and a housewife, eh? Mr. Bernard McLean, you're a furrier, eh?
Yes.
Where are you from, Bernard?
Originally from Norwich, Connecticut, but I've spent most of my childhood in Oklahoma City.
Oh. But maybe you were St. Bernard, huh? Let's talk about furs. Where is your shop?
Mitchell Furs. It's on Hollywood Boulevard near Normandy.
How is the fur business?
It's holding up very well.
Can you say as much for your fur coats?
Yes, I believe so.
I see. Your business is holding up and your coats are holding up, huh? How about your customers?
Well...
They're being held up too, aren't they? Well, after all, he isn't a skin game. That's only a joke. How did you like it, Bernard?
Well, that's not a very good joke for the fur business.
It's not a very good joke for show business either. Let's see, Mrs. Anna...
Badovnik.
Badovnik. You're the housewife, huh?
Yeah.
How do you spell your name, Anna?
A-N-N-A.
Anna, I'm spellbound. How do you spell Badovnik?
B-A-D-O-V-N-I-C. Okay?
Yeah, well,
it's
it's
better.
okay.
It's better.
You have a very interesting accent, Mrs. Badovnik. Where were you born?
Pennsylvania, near Uniontown. I was 5 years old. I was going to Yugoslavia.
Could you tell us how you met your husband?
Yeah. When I was going to, 5 years old, then I go to Yugoslavia. Then,
you met your husband when you were 5 years old?
No. Then when I was 15, my mother was looking for my husband. My mother was...
Your mother was looking for your husband when you were 15? How long were you married by that time?
My mother was going to village, where's a Badovnik village, and Badovnik was husband. They was going there to find the husband named Badovnik. And the village
your
was
husband
Badovnik.
was named Badovnik and your mother was looking for him?
Yeah. And the village was Badovnik name, too.
Why didn't you marry the village if the village was named?
There was two villages named Badovnik. And one of them, my husband, my man.
You had two husbands named Badovnik?
Yeah. I got first one, I was lived 12 years was the first one. And when I come to this country, they would run away. I never see them. then my girlfriend...
How did you meet your first husband?
My mother found him. My mother found this boy and said, "You want to marry this boy?" I was 15 years old.
What did she do? Just pluck any boy out of the gutter and bring him home?
I was 15 years old. I don't know nothing to say.
Well,
I said, okay. I was too young. Now I know how to pick them. It's too late now.
It's never too late, Mrs. Badovnik, huh? Someplace in Michigan there must be a village named Badovnik, huh? What about this village named Badovnik? You say?
Yugoslavia does. And Yugoslavia.
There's a village named Badovnik?
Yeah, two. Whole village. Badovnik and people named two.
Well, you said...
Yeah.
Yes. You said Badovnik, so you win $50 and your partner wins $50. Anybody says Badovnik on their show. Now, I don't understand. You said there was a whole village named Badovnik?
Yeah, whole village.
Everybody was named Badovnik?
Yeah, everybody last name Badovnik.
Well, that's pretty confusing, isn't it?
No, that's...
How did the mailman know where to bring the mail?
There's a different first name, like Johnny, or Pete, or Mike, like that. And all of Badovnik.
Oh, I see. All the last names are the same.
Yeah, all the last names same. And the village, towns, the same thing.
And they had 2 Badovnik villages?
2, yeah, 2.
You mean the one village wasn't big enough to hold all the Badovniks?
You know, that's one side and another one's way far from mother. Not together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good thing, too, I guess. Now, why did you come to America?
I come and after my husband, Badovnik.
You can't. I thought your mother was chasing your husband.
No, I married this. I was married, but my mother picked him.
You were married to your mother, and your mother picked your husband?
Yeah, I married that boy.
Oh, and then he came to America?
Badovnik, yeah.
And brought the village with him?
Then this, my first husband, when I come here, just run away.
Your first husband ran away and went back to Badovnik again?
Yeah. Then when this one ran away, then I found another Badovnik.
Well, did you find the second Badovnik an improvement over the first Badovnik?
That was better, yeah.
It was, huh?
Oh, yeah. Badovnik, 2 Johnny, 2 sons.
You got 2 John Badovniks?
Yeah, first and last, both same name.
Oh, well,
I got 1 John Badovnik. My husband got 1 John Badovnik.
Oh, well, can't you merge them, like make a Canadian Pacific or something? Well, ladies, be sure to tune in again tomorrow for another exciting chapter of Anna's Other Badovniks. Well, you certainly make an unusual couple, and Anna, anything I could add at this point would be gilding the Badovnik.
That was good couple. That was good couple.
Oh, just wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to take my advice and visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealer, Joe Badovnik, Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at
I don't know how to play Bet Your Life.
No, you play. We're going to play You Bet Your Badovnik instead.
Easy.
We didn't make it very easy for you. Now you get a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question. All you got to do is run your $20 into more than our other couples. I can't tell you how...
My knee rattled.
Your knee is rattled. Anyhow, Mr. Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The Western Union operator and Mr. Pucci lead with $319.92.
All right, here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected Name the Profession as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? You have $20.
Want to bet 15, Ann?
More like 15.
All right.
All right, what is John Steinbeck's profession?
He's an author.
He's an author is right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight.
I'm closing my eye.
How much of the $35 will you bet on your second question?
Shall we bet it all?
Yeah.
All right, bet it all.
All right, Frank Lloyd Wright is tops in his profession. What is he? You can talk it over if you want, huh? Take a guess.
Financier?
No, I'm sorry. He's an architect and a very famous one, probably the most famous one in America. Well, they're broke. We can't let them go away with empty-handed here. We're going to give you one more question. And they did win the secret word, didn't they? Yeah. Well, you each won $50 there. Now, here's your chance to win $10. Now, think hard now, and please no help from the audience. This is a tough question. In what sport do you use a basketball?
Basketball.
Basketball is right.
Well, this couple went broke, so that means that the Western Union girl and Mr. Pucci with $319.92 in just one moment get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question.
Thank you.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now then, Fenneman, tell the folks about the new 1952 DeSoto.
Gladly, Groucho. Friends, the new 1952 DeSoto is really a beauty. It's the car designed for you and your budget, too.
True. And tell them about some of those great DeSoto features.
Well, for one thing, DeSoto brings you Oriflow shock absorbers that help give you the smoothest ride on the road. And comfortable seats that are chair high that give you a relaxing ride and a better view of the road.
George, mention those safety rim wheels.
DeSoto's safety rim wheels protect your family in case of blowouts. And DeSoto has big 12-inch brakes, too, that respond even to the lightest pedal pressure.
Now then, tell them where to see the 1952 DeSoto.
It's now on display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. See it tomorrow.
And when you do, just tell them Groucho sent you.
And here comes the winning couple, Groucho, the Western Union girl and Mr. Pucci, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question.
All right, here we go for $2,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Elizabeth Bowes Lyon, Lyon, occupies an important position in the world today. If you can identify her, I'll give you $2,500. Who is Elizabeth Bowes Lyon? B-O-W-E-S, capital L-Y-O-N. Talk it over. All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Is she in the cabinet of the United States government?
No, I'm sorry. It's a tough one, but it's the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, no.
That's the correct answer, Queen Elizabeth. So that means the big question next week will be worth $3,000. Well, you lost the big money, but you won how much in the quiz? How much did they win, George?
$319.92.
Well, it's not too bad. Congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $3,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the 1952 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Good drivers drive safe cars. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is smile. S-M-I-L-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Nice guy. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $3,000 for one of our couples.
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a young lady, Miss Daphne Carr, and her partner is Mr. William Hopper. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Miss Daffy Carr?
Daphne, please.
Oh, Daphne. Oh, I thought it said Daffy here. May I ask your age?
21.
21. That's a ripe old age. Shall I keep calling you Daffy?
No, I have several nicknames my friends call me.
Just what nicknames do you have? Could you give us a brief summary of your nicknames?
Oh, they call me Doll or Vitamin or Sugar.
Well, the whole three are essential. Why do they call you Vitamin?
Well, because I used to go out with a pill, and I was always trying to keep everything going and exciting and everything, and he would just sit around and mope more or less, so they called me Vitamin.
You just didn't want to mope with the dope, is that it?
Right.
What do you mean? You wanted to do things that were exciting, like what?
Things that are exciting and everything that's vivacious and, lots of exciting things.
How diggity. Mr. Bill Hopper, are you related to Hedda?
No, no relation.
Grass?
No. It's one thing I do when I don't get my name on the telephone, right? I say, you know what a grasshopper is? And they says, yes. Well, they leave out the grass and you'll get the rest.
And do they do that?
Most times.
You have a pet name, too? Has anybody call you Vitamin or anything?
No, just the plain Bill.
Oh, plain Bill.
Plain Bill.
Where were you born?
I was born in Wolfartisworthy, England.
Would you spell that?
WLLFARDISWRTHY.
No, I remember the other part, Bill, B-I-L-L. Now, what does Wolfartisworthy mean?
That consists of a little village on the boundary line of Cornwall in England. Just a little small town.
How long have you been in the United States?
Since 1906.
That's quite some time. 1906. Swine Swansea, Oxen Swansea. 10 years, huh?
Yeah.
Are you married, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Why did you marry? Did you marry a Wolfartisworthy lass?
No, sir.
Who'd you marry?
Married a California girl. Married the first girl I was introduced to in America. Or in California, rather.
You were hard to get, all right.
Hard to get.
How old are you, Bill?
64.
Are you really 64?
Pretty soon be 65.
Oh, is that so? I thought you were about 50.
Wish I was.
Well, you don't look it. You're a very vigorous, healthy, young-looking man, and I say that in the name of the Lord Mayor of Wolfartisworthy, England. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $3,000 question. But before you do, I want you to pay attention to something real important.
Have you seen?
Did you ride?
Did you drive a new DeSoto? Hurry up.
Do it now.
At your dealers today. It's designed for you and your budget, too. It's the 1952 DeSoto.
Have you driven the new 1952 DeSoto? The new DeSoto is designed for comfort, with chair-high seats, a big, roomy interior, and smooth-riding Oriflow shock absorbers that help make even the roughest road feel like a boulevard. The new DeSoto is designed for safety, with extra-wide windshield and window areas for better vision, and safety rim wheels to protect your family in case of blowouts. Yes, the new DeSoto is designed for you, and your budget, too. See it. Ride in it. Drive it today at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The magnificent new 1952 DeSoto. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the value jewel of the low-priced field.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George?
Yes.
Explain the rules.
Well, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $3,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected major cities of the United States. These cities are all over 100,000 population. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet?
15?
15? In what state is the city of Charlotte?
North Carolina.
North Carolina is right.
On your way, you have $35.
Remember, you're going for $3,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $35 will you try this time?
25? 25.
25. In what state is the city of Somerville? Somerville.
Somerville. Do you know? Guess.
Take a stab.
Jersey.
New Hampshire?
Oh, you're pretty close. It's Massachusetts. That's a tough question.
You now have $10.
All right, you got $10. You're not out of the race yet. Here's your third question. How much of the $10 you going to bet?
5.
In what state is the city of Tampa?
Florida.
Florida is right.
Well, you're on your way again. You have $15.
You have $15, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
All.
All of it.
All?
Good. In what state is the city of Duluth?
Minnesota.
Minnesota is right. I'm sorry, I had one tough question.
And you wind up with $30.
Put it there, kid. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We invited some musicians and their wives to the show tonight, Groucho. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. and Mrs. Bill Douglas. And here they are. Folks, come in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy doody.
Hello.
Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Dorothy and Bill Douglas. Is that right?
Yes.
That's right. What shall I call you, Mrs. Douglas?
Dorothy.
Dorothy, yeah. And what does Bill call you?
Just baby.
You think he'll always call you baby?
I guess so. I hope so, anyway.
Well, it's a nice, endearing name. What do you call Bill? And remember, this is only a half-hour program. What do you call it?
Sliggerpuddin'.
Huh?
Sliggerpuddin'.
Sliggerpuddin'?
Yes.
Well, Sliggerpuddin', how are you? Now, that isn't better than calling a fellow full Watersworthy or some name like that. Would you mind telling us why you call him Sliggerpuddin'?
Well, that's short for sugar pudding.
That's short for sugar pudding?
Yes.
That must be lump sugar, I guess. Well, let's talk music. I understand you. What band are you with, Sliggerpuddin'?
Oh, I play with several bands.
All at once?
Oh, no, by that I mean that I'm a freelance musician. I play with a number of bands, and we do casual dates.
Casual dates?
That's right.
Does Baby know about that? What instruments do you play?
Well, I play the drums.
You regard that as an instrument? A piece of dead skin stretched over a washtub you regard as an instrument? What are some of the things you have to know how to drum?
Well, you should know your basic rudiments, such as the various rolls.
Oh, are there any fine points to drumming? Could you name some of the finer points of drumming?
Yes, well, we have finer rudiments such as the paradiddle, the flam, the flamadiddle, the ratamacue. Oh, they're...
Steady there, Bill. Steady there. Let's take these one at a time. After all, I'm a musician, too. Would you have any objections if I asked you to demonstrate a few of these rolls?
Well, it's sort of difficult. I don't have my drum with me.
Oh, we have a drum. Jerry, could we borrow your drum? Bring up the drum. I brought up 3 kids. You certainly can bring up a drum. Right around here now. We're going to do this real big league style. If this man pretends he's a drummer, we'd like to know something about it. Now, this is Jerry Fielding. This is the director of the orchestra. He's not accustomed to carrying a drum. His father was a drummer. He used to sell neckties, but that's the place. Now, let's see, Bill. What was it? Let's see. You said something about a ratamacue. This is a pretty personal thing to say to a man you just met, but could you describe a ratamacue in mixed company? What is a ratamacue?
Well, a ratamacue is a triplet preceded by 2 grace notes followed by 1 beat.
Could you show us how a Ratamaqueue goes?
Oh, Ratamaqueue, it sounds just like Ratamaqueue when I play it on the drum.
You know, drumming has changed a lot since my day. Back in '76, all I had to do was wear a bandage on my head and whistle Yankee Doodle. What else did you mention before? You had some other curious names that you...
Well, we also have double flamadiddle, the double paradiddle, the flamadiddle-diddle.
Well, any 2-year-old kid would know that. But we have very few 2-year-old kids in our audience. They're all watching Meet the Press. Could you give us a sample flamadiddle?
All right. The flamadiddle is a paradiddle with a flam on the first beat.
Well, a flamadiddle sounds like a Ratamaqueue that's had a tough night. You imagine what Shakespeare could have done with that kind of talk, huh? Alas, poor flamadiddle, I knew him Ratamaqueue. Whatever happened to bebop? Alas, poor bebop, I knew him flamadiddle. What is bebop, anyway?
Well, that's just cool music.
Well, will you get me my overcoat? I'd like to know. Just how cool is bebop? Huh?
Well, it's the coolest, as far as I'm concerned.
What do you think is bebop, Dorothy?
Well, just way out.
You couldn't get it any clearer than that if it's a way out. Well, you're a very nice couple, and you've been most instructive. I've learned a lot tonight about flamadiddle. And I'd like to go on talking to you all night. However, since Bill here, what's his name?
Sliggerpuddin.
Since Sliggerpuddin is full of Ratamaqueue, I wouldn't be surprised if he beats me out of a lot of money tonight. Now then, we're going to go for the big money. We're going to see, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $3,000 question. All you have to do is run your $20 and the more than our other couples. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but George Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The first couple, Daphne Carr and Bill Hopper, won $30.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected French words used in the English language. These are all anglicized French words. All right, here's your first question. How much are you going to bet?
19?
That's good enough.
$19, huh? Well, what is the French word that means a first appearance in public? It begins with the letter D.
Debut.
That's right. Debut is right.
Well, you're off to a great start. You have $39.
All right, remember you're going for $3,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $39 you're going to risk on this one?
38's good enough.
How much?
38, she says.
Say, you're real cool tonight, aren't you? Now, what do you call a lady's bedroom? It begins with the letter B.
Boudoir.
A boudoir is right.
Really on your way, you have $77.
Oh, you're a way out, Skinnamadingle. Here's your third question. How much of the 77 are you going to bet?
75, we've agreed on.
What is the French word that means over sophisticated or well weary? It begins with the letter B. Talk it over. You can help me.
Sophisticated.
Take a guess if you don't know. Blasé. You should have known that. There's a song, too. A Famous song, Blase. Well, that cut you way down.
Yes, you now have $2.
Oh. Well, you certainly can't get cool on $2, huh? All right, you have one more chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
Bet the $2.
Bet the $2.
What is the French word that means rubbish or wreckage? It begins with the letter D.
Debris.
Debris is right. I'm sorry that you lost that big one.
Wait a minute, how about this? Can't let them go away, can we?
We certainly cannot let these people go away with $2 in their kick. We're going to give you one more question. Answer it correctly, and we'll give you $10. Now think hard and please no help from the audience. Steady? Here we go. What color is orange juice? Orange is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have a couple of expectant parents next, Groucho. I think you're going to like them. Mr. and Mrs. Tom Snodgrass, I want you to come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and take home $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mr. and Mrs. Tom Snodgrass, eh? Mrs. Snodgrass, what's your first name?
Nadine.
That's a very pretty name.
Thank you.
Sounds like a spot remover. How old are you, Nadine?
I'm 19.
19, huh? How old are you, Tom?
21.
21. How long you been married?
Oh, a year and 3 months.
Mr. Fenneman says you're expecting, but he didn't say what. Nadine, what are you expecting?
I'm expecting a baby.
Well, of all things, huh? Hey, this is serious. Is there a doctor in the house? How do you feel, Nadine? All right?
I feel just fine. The baby isn't due until April.
Tom, this is the first time we ever had anybody named Snodgrass on the program who's going to have a baby in April. Does anybody ever comment on your name?
Well, I become quite a fighter when I was young. Most of the kids kid me about my name, and even at work, most people think I'm kidding when I say my name is Snodgrass.
What sort of work do you do? Just going around defending your name?
No, I'm a transformer winder at Hughes Aircraft.
Nadine, were you working when you first heard about this impending development?
Yes, I was. I still am. I work for California Physician Service and Blue Shield Medical Plan.
Oh, that's pretty handy, huh? What would you like to have, a boy or a girl?
I think I'd rather have a boy.
How about you, Tom, boy or girl?
Oh, it has to be a boy.
Why? Why are you so insistent on that?
Why? Well, I'm the last of the Snodgrasses. I like to carry the name on.
Well, Tom, that's an important project. Of course, you may wind up with 17 girls, but it's worth fighting for. Do you have a pet name for Tom besides Snodgrass?
Well...
You don't call him a skinny rumpety, is it?
No, worse than that. Sometimes I call him Spider.
Well, that's a nice name for a husband. It's very common, though. Why do you call him Spider? Did he ask you into his parlor?
No, he's
Was
tall
he always
and
flying
thin.
around? Huh?
He's tall and thin, and when he was in high school, he was on the gym team, and he was on the side horse and the long horse, and he looks like a spider when he tumbles.
Did he tumble for you on a long horse? What's your pet name for Nadine, Spider?
Well, I call her Dimples. She's got about 9 of them.
How did you meet this wretch? This is the name he wants to survive and perpetuate. Huh? How did you meet Spider?
Well, we went to the same high school, but we didn't know each other very well. Tom graduated before I did and went into the Navy. He came home
What was that? Oh. We got a 3-act here, and I don't know it. So?
So, I was waiting for a bus one day, and he came and sat down beside me and asked me for a date.
You were standing on the corner waiting for a bus, and he came and sat down beside you?
No, I was sitting on the bench.
Oh, there was a bench there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you propose to Nadine after the bus date, Tom?
No, I didn't. The next day I was shipped to San Francisco for dry dock and repairs.
That must have been a pretty violent day. What kind of repair?
There was repairs on the destroyer.
Oh, on the boat, huh?
Yeah, on the ship.
Now, Dimples, could you tell us about Spider's proposal? Where did it happen? What did he say?
Well, we were in a drive-in movie, and it was in the middle of the Tom and Jerry cartoon. And
Now, don't tell me you were watching the movie.
No.
yes, we were.
He wasn't, but she was watching Jerry, huh? How did Tom find out about the baby? Did you start eating strawberry ice cream for breakfast?
No, I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me several little pamphlets about babies, and I brought them home and gave them to Tom.
And then he had a craving for strawberry ice cream? Well, you're a lovely young couple, and I wish you the best of luck, all three of you. Or maybe all four of you. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $3,000 question. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The first couple, Daphne Carr and Bill Hopper, are still ahead with $30.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected resorts of the United States. These resorts and towns are visited by thousands of tourists each year. Now, here's your first question. How much of the $20 you're going to try?
15.
15. All right. In what state do you find Lake Placid?
New York.
New York is right.
You're on your way. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $3,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $35 you're going to try this time?
30.
30. In what state do you find Sun Valley?
Idaho.
Idaho is right.
You now have $65.
$65 is your third question. How much are you going to bet?
60.
60. 50? 60. 60. In what state do you find Sarasota?
Oh.
Sarasota. Talk it over, and if you don't know, take a guess.
Michigan?
No, I'm sorry. It's Florida.
Oh.
I think some of the teams train there. Now,
You now have $5.
$5, huh? Well, three people can't live on $5. Huh? Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet? $5. In what state do you find French Lick? This resort is famous for their mineral springs. Talk it over, and if you don't know, guess.
Florida.
California?
No. It's Indiana.
Oh.
It's right near Indianapolis. Well, we certainly can't let you people go away broke. Going to give you one more question. If you get it right, I'll give you $10. Think hard, and please no help from the audience. What composer wrote Brahms' Lullaby?
You know that.
Brahms.
Brahms is right, huh? I'm sorry you didn't win so much.
Well, you folks
You're such a cute couple. You.
lost all your money, so that means our first couple, Daphne Carr and William Hopper, with $30, in just 1 minute, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $3,000 question. Friends, just let me mention one big advantage you get when you take your car for service to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. You see, his shop is fitted out with the latest, most modern tools and equipment to cope with any possible type of job, big or small, and do that job right. And the DeSoto Plymouth dealer mechanics who use these tools and this equipment know exactly what they're doing. They're highly trained men, not only experienced, but well-trained. Every so often, DeSoto Plymouth dealer servicemen are given factory-supervised training courses. This way, they keep abreast of the latest methods of servicing your car. Now, such training in factory methods is valuable even to the expert mechanics who combine new knowledge with past experience to assure you of a top service job every time. Oh, naturally, the more skilled a man is, the better his work and the faster he does it. And this saves you money. Top service, expert attention to your car, yes, and courtesy, too. That's what you'll find wherever you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here is Daphne Carr and Bill Hopper, the winning couple, all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $3,000 question, Groucho.
Here we go for $3,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. I'm sure everyone has heard of the Hall of Fame, the famous memorial to great Americans. But do you know where it is? It's located on the campus of a great university. For $3,000, where is the Hall of Fame located? What's the answer you two have decided upon?
Washington.
No, I'm sorry. It's New York University, huh? That's the correct answer, New York University. So that means the big question next week will be worth $3,500. Well, you lost the big money, but you won a lot in the quiz. How much did they win?
$30.
$30. Congratulations and a very Merry Christmas to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight. I'm sorry.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $3,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the 1952 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder that the Christmas seals you put on your cards and packages will support the fight against TB all next year. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
I never heard of anything like that. And no wonder you don't have a regular schedule. They gets all confused. They don't know who they're playing. Well, how is your father? Has he been hurt at all?
No, Dad's fine. He's okay.
Give him my love.
Yeah, I will.
And give her my love when next time you talk to her.
Okay.
Well, now, are you considered to be a pretty good player?
Well, I guess pretty fair. I played first string now for 3 years.
Now he's playing with a string.
I should have said varsity.
This kid has really lost his buttons. Huh? Do you play football in Denmark? Oh, no, that's to you. Do you play football
No, we play soccer.
You play soccer?
Yeah.
I haven't played for soccer many a time. Well, tell us something about Denmark. For example, how big is Denmark?
Well, Denmark is about the size of Los Angeles County.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a country in Europe that large. Huh? Well, how is the standard of living there? Do you have 2 television sets in every garage?
No, we don't. Television has just come to Denmark now.
It's just starting?
Yeah,
now
it's
in
just
Denmark?
starting.
Oh, that's interesting. It's just finishing over here. If you don't have television, Bajeti, is that it?
Birgitte.
Birgitte, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're Mexican, huh? Now, how do you get Bikita out of B-I-R-G-E-T-T-E?
Birgitte. It's very easy.
Does your father play soccer on the same team as you?
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Oh, shucks. That's me. Well, here I am again with $2,000. Who's first to try for the big money, Mr. Fenneman?
Groucho, we invited some college football players and some foreign-born girls to the program tonight. And here come the two selected by our studio audience just before we went on the air. Miss Birgitta Juncker, Mr. Fred Snyder. Come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy doody, huh? Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Miss Birgitta Juncker, is that right?
That's right.
Juncker or Junker? What kind of a name is that?
That's a Danish name.
Oh, Danish pastry, eh? I'll just call you Cookie, eh?
Okay.
How long have you been in the United States?
Almost a year now.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you have a job?
No, I'm here as a visitor.
Oh. Well, that's a nice work if you can get it. How long have you been in this country? Well, if you don't have television in Denmark, how do you entertain yourself?
Well, you go to operas, art exhibition, visit with friends, and... Well...
You sound pretty gloomy about the whole thing.
Oh, you have fun.
You do? Mm-hmm. Sounds very quiet. Don't you have anything cultural like roller derbies or lady wrestlers?
No, we don't.
Now, Spaghetti, am I getting close?
Pretty close, yeah.
What did you say it was?
Birgitte.
Oh, Birgitte.
Mm-hmm.
Birgitte, yeah? Can you say that?
Is it Birgitta?
Yeah.
Birgitta.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Yes, it's very good. Don't forget, you're a comparatively young man, Fred. I've always heard about the melancholy Dane, Birgitta. Is that true? Are Danes really sad and mournful?
No, I don't think they are, really.
Well, you haven't smiled much here tonight, Birgitta.
Oh.
Let's see a big smile. Just
no, I can't right now.
No?
No.
Would you say Danes have a good sense of humor?
Yes, certainly. I
would,
do think they
Could
do.
you give us a sample of a Danish joke? Just any old joke. I'd like to see how Danish jokes compare with ours. Can you?
Let me see.
Can you think of one?
Yeah, there's one about the husband and the wife.
I'll say there is. You hit it right on the doorknob that time. Well, let's have it, huh?
Well, the husband comes home after work in the night and he...
Fred?
All my life.
That's so. Where were you born?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, I know the American Council there. How old are you, Fred?
21.
21, huh? And you're 20, huh?
That's how...
Say, you might be able to do a little business here. You play football?
That's right. Football.
Feetball or football?
Football.
Oh, football.
The singular.
Well, it is... The way some of them play, it is pretty singular. Where do you play?
Loyola University.
Loyola?
Yes.
Oh, are you in the Big Ten?
No.
Big Six?
No.
Big Three?
What's the Big Three?
Britain, France, and the United States. Thought you had me, eh? I pulled a quarterback sneak on you. And a sneakier quarterback you'll go a long way to find. Well, if you aren't in the Big Three, what league are you in?
Oh, well, we're not in any league. We make up our own schedule. We play the different teams around the country.
Oh, like Russia, huh? You ad-lib the schedule, huh?
That's it.
What position do you play on the team other than horizontal?
Offensive right end.
Why do you play that position?
Well, mainly because of my height and my weight. If I weighed a little more, I might play farther in the line, but...
Is father in the line, too?
Yes.
Well, you wouldn't want to injure him, I don't think. Isn't he pretty old for football?
No, when I was...
How did he get on the team?
He played basketball.
Now, wait a minute. Half the team is playing basketball and half is playing football?
He says to his wife, well, darling, wouldn't it be a good idea to go out and have some fun tonight?
Some what?
Some fun. Mm-hmm. And the wife says, well, that's a swell idea, but remember to leave the lights on if you come home first.
Congratulations.
That's the kind of jokes they tell in Denmark,
Yeah.
Huh? Well, I guess it's true what I've always heard. I guess something is rotten in Denmark. They always hear that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been very nice talking to you two. You're a fine-looking young couple, and I hope something comes of this. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000 question. Right now, I want you to listen to some information of great importance.
It's the car you've been waiting for. The car designed for you and your budget, too. Yes, it's the great new 1952 DeSoto. See it today at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Step into its big, roomy interior. Relax in its comfortable chair-high seats. Then drive the new DeSoto. Feel the thrill of its Power Master engine, the sure stopping power of its big 12-inch brakes, and the smooth, comfortable ride you get with DeSoto's famous Oriflow shock absorbers, and a host of other features. You'll discover DeSoto is the car designed for you and your budget, too. See it today. The new, the exciting 1952 DeSoto. On display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Have you